Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar this morning on our NfP 365 finance system, presented by myself, Dan Booth, and my colleague, Sunita Chandnani. Just a quick introduction, a little bit about us, our pictures. I'm Dan, a product manager at Enhance. I joined the company about 6 years ago now as a systems accountant. I come from a accountancy background, SEMA qualified. And part of my passion is breaking systems really and making them better through add-on reporting capabilities and add-on sort of products into ERP systems. So when the product manager role at Enhance became available, it was a natural fit for me to move into so that we can really use my skills to benefit NFPs and the challenges that NFPs face, both from a financial point of view and other system and reporting point of view as well. Sunita, do you want to give a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thanks, Dan. Hi, everyone. I'm Sunita, and like Dan, I'm a product manager. I've been with Enhance for 6 years, but my background for about 20 years has been as an ERP consultant. So I've worked with various packages in various industries, and I've done some work with the NFP sector. And now I'm working with Dan to try and get products that help the NFP sector do better and work more efficiently. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Anita. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping throughout today and this 45-minute webinar. During all the sections, the lines will be, as it just said then, the notification, all the lines are set to mute to avoid any unnecessary noise interference. But please, at any point during the webinar, please feel free to pop a question into the question window. Myself and Sunita will be monitoring that, answering where we can throughout the presentation. And if there's something specific to our charity that we feel would be better sent and responded by email, we will answer them individually after the session has ended. Our contact details for anybody who doesn't want to ask questions through the session but wants to email us with directly after the full presentation, our contact details will be provided on the final slide for you to email us. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the agenda, just a real quick introduction to Enhance, and then through what our NfP 365 Finance product is, the individual bits that we've added on to really enhance that product and tailor it for NFPs. And then Sunita will go through and give you a demo of Business Central for those who haven't seen that before. Then come back to me. I'll just talk through very quickly our end-to-end solution that allows for sort of the CRM and donor management all the way through till end processing, and then we'll just do a summary wrap up at the very end. Firstly then, quickly about Enhance for those of you who are potential new customers to Enhance. We have, I'm not going to read through every element there. You can see we have a 13 million or so turnover, 120 staff. We've got lots of experience. And we absolutely have specific dedicated implementation teams for finance, CRM, Power Platform, SharePoint, all the Microsoft technologies. As you can see there, we are very sort of involved in Microsoft. We've been gold partners, managed partners, cloud solution provider. And the biggest thing that I do want to draw your eyes to really the bottom 2 bullet points on there. We specialize in the not-for-profit sector. Our products that we do are extreme, we really focus on driving efficiencies, driving governance, and driving productivity and transaction and data entry ease with regards to the not-for-profit sector across all of our product ranges. And with that, we take core Microsoft products and we enhance them with Enhance own specific products, some of which you will see throughout today, and some of which form part of our NfP 365 Finance product, specific to the NFP sector as well. Everything in our mind with everything that we do is driving efficiencies in organizations, making you be able to concentrate as an organization on the stuff that you really need to concentrate on, and knowing that your system is holding the data that you need it to hold, and in a reporting capabilities that allows you to make the correct decision and to really benefit your organization going forward. So moving on to our NfP 365 Finance and how we build it up. So, as I've said all along there, all the way through everything that we do with regards to NfP 365 and the products that we've built around it, the aim is to address the common pain points that NFPs are facing. Additional governance over supplier and banker work payments, easy processing, easy transactional entry, not too complicated, everything flowing through. Partial VAT, we've spoken to customers who spend absolute hours, days sorting out their VAT and partial VAT for those who have partial VAT exemptions and the transactional side of that. We've built products, our enhanced partial VAT product tracks all that within the system for you. We've built sort compliant reports via Power BI, and we're going to touch on a couple of them today. SOFA reports automatically refreshing and things like that, all about getting you the information you need without having to spend hours chasing your tail. And again, and I'm going to repeat this quite a lot through the slides, all about increasing efficiency and reducing the amount of duplication of data entry, really making your organisation efficient. So as you can see on the left-hand side there, Business Central is a finance system. We've got our add-on elements that we put into that, and the data flow of information is always a logical data flow to really allow you to have all the information in the one place to make things so much easier for your organisations. Now, we built this system. NfP 365 Finance is built on Business Central. For those of you who don't know what Business Central is, there's plenty of things you can go and look at online about it, but to give you a real quick overview, it's a Microsoft product and it's a cloud-based product, as it says there. It's built and unified within Office 365. So as you can see here, all your common sorts of Microsoft products, your Office, your Excel, your Outlook, your Power BI, Power Apps, if you know about them, Flow, AI, all integrates and all seamlessly works with Business Central. It's accessible via any device. So, you're not, especially during these recent COVID times where people have found, we've had customers coming to us with real problems really with regard to accessing their data. This, you can be, if you wanted to be, when the COVID restrictions are lifted, you could be on a beach in Jamaica or the Bahamas or anywhere, and you can have access to your data. You can still post transactions. Everything, it's accessible via any device as long as you've got any kind of connection. And it's scalable as well. So, we have, as you'll see later on in the presentation, we tiered a number of different offerings around NfP 365 Finance aimed at any size of charity as well. So the product is scalable. You can scale up, you can scale down, and the structure is there for it to, it's not going to send you down something that should your, as any NFP will want, you're going to want to be turning over millions and millions more than what you're turning over now, thousands more than what you're turning over now, depending on your size. The Business Central product is scalable, so it's not going to hold you back in 2-3 years' time if you invest in this product. You can grow with it, it will grow with you as well. Just to give you a bit of an sort of detail of what is within Business Central. As you can see there, really comprehensive core elements of Business Central. The general ledger, all the stuff that you would really expect to see within any standard ERP system. Your inventory management, your fixed assets, all in the system, already there. The core elements are there, ready for you to use. It's a lot. There's a lot of it. You don't need to use all of these, obviously. Job costing can be for certain things, but approval workflows are already inbuilt in the system. BI reporting, integration with Power BI, everything that you would need is in the core element of Business Central, which really provides you and organisations looking to move and looking to adapt Business Central into their organisations, the sort of comfortability to know that it is going to meet all your financial requirements. And now we're just going to move on between myself and Sunita. Sunita will talk you through a couple of the elements that we've added on as our own IP. So Sunita, do you want to go through this slide?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Dan. So as Dan said, we've added our own IP here. So we've created the Enhanced Supplier EFT. Now this gives clients the ability to create their own EFT BACS formats. It also comes with 16 predefined formats, including SEPA, which customers can use to tweak to meet the requirements, or they can use the default ones as they are. Our product allows customers to regenerate the EFT BACS file formats if they need to. We also offer an approval process for vendor bank details, which includes a multi-level approval process. Any changes made to the vendor bank details will trigger an approval. Approvers can view the bank detail values and the values that they have changed to. And email notifications are sent when bank details need approval or when they've been rejected or approved. We also offer an audit report which provides the following information: all changes made to the vendor bank details, a date and time stamps all approvals and requests. It shows values before and after the changes made to vendor bank details, so it's something auditors really appreciate. This module also allows for integration of bank details from our Dynamics NfP 365 Foundation CRM offering. And our module is compatible for Locate. Now, for those who don't know what Locate is, well, it's a company that offers a bank verification service to confirm that the bank accounts and the sort codes are correct. So you could purchase a plan from them, they'll give you a key and we'll put it into our module and then it'll start working. If we move on, yeah, thanks. So with regards to our partial VAT, so again, that's one of our products that we've designed and built. It utilises different methods of VAT recovery depending on the customer's circumstances. So it caters for both fixed and variable recovery rates. Variable rates are going to be attached to transactions where at the time of entering the transaction, the customer is unsure what the recovery rate is, but you don't want to stop the transaction flow. To enable us to do this, we've extended the VAT posting setup form that allows us to track the following information: a non-deductible VAT account. So if customers do not want to post the non-recoverable VAT amount to the original expense account, then the amount will post to the account that's stipulated in this field. We have a checkbox that allows us to recognise which of the VAT codes are variable recoveries. And we have a deductible percent column. So in this field, customers can enter the percentage that they can claim back for the 20% VAT. What we also offer in this product is rules. Rules can be created to assist with the transaction entry process. So the rules are linked to the GL accounts, and when a transaction is entered, the VAT recovery code associated with that GL account automatically defaults onto the transaction. So users don't have to think much of what rate should I be using here. We also offer a variable routine. So when the customer is aware of the recovery rate that should be assigned to any transaction that's coded with the variable VAT code, they can run a routine that will move the VAT amount from the variable recovery to the recovery rate you have stipulated, and the non-recoverable will go back to the original expense. Just one thing to stress, our module only caters for VAT recovery on purchases and financial transactions that have a purchase impact only. So.
Thanks, Anita. So yeah, in addition to that as well as what Sunita's shown within Business Central, our NfP 365 Finance product also includes a Power BI reporting pack. Now, for those of you who know Power BI, don't know Power BI, Power BI is a Microsoft product that, you know, it's one of the top world-leading reporting platforms. And what we've done as part of our product is create a off-the-shelf suite of reports specifically for NfPs, as it says there. They're SORT compliant. It includes SOFA report. It includes all the income and expense analysis, balance sheet reports, reports on debtors, creditors, creditor turnover. So all the sorts of stuff that normally you will be doing outside of the system, potentially through a management sort of reporting tool that you need to extract the data. All this is there. Now, you know, the one thing that this does, obviously, you get the benefit of what you get with Power BI. So you can share this reports with non-finance users. You can schedule it in to be refreshed automatically, so you're not having to worry about the data being up to date. You can create dashboards for, you know, your sort of trustees, your senior management level people that are sort of individual visuals across a number of different pages of the report. So it allows you to sort of manage the flow of information both up and down in your organisations as well. And it means that you can keep the finance system really purely for you can keep Business Central purely for your finance people. All the reporting, you still get the same levels of drill down to transaction description level, but you can keep your finance system to your finance people, and you can share your organisational reporting with other non-finance users. So it really does give you some great ways of managing who gets to see what and when, and promotes one version of the truth. And it says at the very bottom there, it interacts with PowerPoint. So if you wanted to export the whole pack into a PowerPoint presentation, you just click a button and it does that for you. So all really good information through the reporting part that's standard as part of the product. You may have seen because I clicked 2 buttons at once earlier, but we're now I'm going to hand over to Sunita's screen, and Sunita's going to run you through a quick demo of the Business Central product to let you see it if you haven't seen that before. So Sunita, I will pass that over to you now.
Thank you. So hopefully you can all see my screen. Dan, can you confirm for me, please?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give you a brief introduction to Business Central. So what you are currently seeing here is the role-centered page, and depending on what position you assign yourself in Business Central will depend on what you see here. So I'm currently assigned to the business manager role, which basically means I have access to the finance, the sales, the purchasing, the bank modules, and I can view the sales, purchasing, and financial transactions associated with them. In the action section here, Microsoft have put some of the everyday actions at the tip of your fingertips. So for example, I could click on new to create a new customer or vendor. I can also view some of my financial reports that I might require in Excel. So if I quickly just open up the balance sheet, and this kind of highlights the seamless integration with Excel. So if we just give it a second. And I'm just going to enable everything. So what the system is doing here now is authenticating me as a user within Business Central, because if you're a user in Business Central, you will be able to see this data. And hopefully the information will just come back. Perfect. So all the reports, be it in Power BI or be it in Business Central, are built using what we refer to as account categories. And the account categories or subcategories are linked to nominal accounts, and so therefore each category knows what nominal account figures it should show. So I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. But as you can see, the report is there in Excel straight away. If I go back to my Business Central, if I scroll further down, you see I've got some tiles here that show me some metrics like overdue invoices, ongoing invoices, sales orders, sales invoices. So it's broken down into sales and purchasing. And if I want to drill down on one of these tiles, I can do. And it will show me the transactions that make up that 115. So these are all outstanding purchase invoices that need to be paid. If I wanted to view one of these purchase invoices, I can drill down to the actual invoice itself. And if you'd attach the invoice attachment, you would see that as well. So here's, if I scanned the copy of the invoice, that would appear here. But otherwise, I can see the full details of the invoice and what it relates to. So you see that you've got full drill down capabilities within Business Central. If we just go back, so if I drill further down, or sorry, if I just go further down, you see I've got a snapshot view of a mini trial balance, and I can move it from previous period and so on, so I can see the figures there. Again, like I said, it's just a quick snapshot. Further down, I've got a list of favorite accounts. Now, these are accounts that you may want to keep an eye on. They have some meaning for you, and so you can put them here. Everybody can have their own accounts because this role page is user specific. And if I want to drill down on my bank account to see the transactions that make up that figure, I can do. And I'll see a list of transactions coming up here. I can use the filter to filter against a particular period, against a particular range of accounts, and so on. So and the beauty of Business Central is that you can have numerous filters. You're not limited to 1 or 4 or 5. You can have unlimited. And as Dan was saying before, we've got our Power BI reports embedded into my role page, and I'm going to come back to that and we'll look at that in a bit more detail. So what I want to kind of just show you is how Business Central deals with the chart of account structure. So if I'm in finance, I can just click on chart of accounts. And as you can see, the way Business Central deals with it, you can have an account code, and I've currently kept my account code to 4 characters or 4 digits, and I've got my P&L at the beginning, and then it moves on to my balance sheet. What you can also do in Business Central that I think is quite cute is the fact that you can have begin totals and end totals. And then if you wanted to just kind of have a quick summary of what's going on, I can filter on my account type end total. And again, you can see I've got a mini trial balance here. And if I wanted to see the total income and I wanted to see the breakdown of that, again, I can drill down and it will show me all the transactions that are related to that 609,000. And you can see in the filter, it automatically just filters on the income accounts because all my income accounts begin with 1 to 1998. You can also filter by dates and so on. So it's not like you're limited to just one filter again, like I said. If you want to clear filters as well, it's very easy. You just click on the cross. Let me just do that again. There's my filters removed. Okay. And against each nominal account, we have to assign a GL account category. Now, these categories allow you to personalize your financial statements like you saw in the Excel balance sheet. And again, like I said, by mapping them to your general ledger accounts. So if we just quickly look at this, you have standard subcategories, but you can change them to be whatever you want. So you can rename the default categories, or you can create new ones. So here we have is the subcategories, which are the ones that you can actually play around with and change and rename or add. And as you can see, they're all linked to various nominal accounts. So that's how the system knows for reporting what to pick up, because you will tell the report that I'm using this list. And same for Power BI, which is really great. So it means that you don't have to do mapping exercises in your other reports, because it will automatically give it these headings. Now, these subcategories here are linked to like a parent category, current assets, if we take this as an example, and then that is linked to my account category, assets. So as you can see, it's got a really nice form there, and it kind of gives us what we want. Now, the next thing, for chart of accounts to work well, you kind of need to have dimensions within Business Central. So they're really essential, because a dimension is a way to classify or categorize transactions that are going to hit your nominal account. So let's take, for example, if you have a donation account, you might want to know if that contribution relates to a fund type, restricted or unrestricted, and what project, event, campaign it may relate to. Dimensions enable you to do this. So if we quickly look at the dimensions I have set up here, and every customer can have different types of dimensions, they don't have to be the same. And you'll see that I have 4 dimensions: campaigns, department, funds, and events. And if we look at my funds, you can see I've got a small number of values. So I've got a couple of unrestricted and restricted funds. And if I look at my events, you'll see I've got probably more. So I've got quite a few there. So the beauty of the dimension values is that you can have unlimited. So, you know, it's not stuck at 100 or whatever. You can use as many as you want. And in Business Central, you can go up to 8 dimensions, but you do need to assign 2 as your global. And global dimensions are the ones that will appear on every area of your system. And the other remaining 6 will only appear on certain pages. The 2 global dimensions will appear on other reports. The other 6 you will need to try onto the reports, but we can do that in Power BI for most of them anyway. Another thing about dimensions is that they can be attached to master cards, such as customers, vendors, and GL accounts, as well as items. So if I just quickly show you vendors, and one of the other great functions of Business Central is that you can use this global search to navigate throughout the system if you don't want to use the tabs up there. So you just type in what you want, and then you'll go to where you want to be. And if I just select this vendor, and the vendor dimensions, you can see that I've got a default dimension value against all of my dimensions, and I've made the value posting code mandatory. So what this gives me, so what happens here is that if I process a transaction against this vendor, then it will automatically default these dimensions onto that transaction. And because the value posting is code mandatory, it basically means that I've got the ability to change the dimension that's defaulted in. But what I cannot do is leave a blank dimension field because I've marked it as mandatory. So best practice is to have a value posting set, and you've got a couple of options. You've got same code, which basically means you cannot change wherever the default is. You've got no code, which means for that transaction or for this vendor that has a transaction, you will not be using a fund type or an event, whichever one that you've marked as no code. And if you have it as blank, which basically is a free-for-all, so you can set up the defaults which will come in, but the user has the ability to override the defaults and technically post transactions with no dimensions. And so for best practice, it's always recommended that you do set a value posting. Now, another really great thing with dimensions is that you can set up dimension combinations. So if we just quickly look at that, and again, just using the global search to get me where I want. You may have situations where you may have dimensions that are maybe seasonal or may no longer be required. And so you can actually change you can block the combination so users can't use that combination by accident. So what I mean here is that I might have a fund that I've got a campaign that I'm no longer using, so I want to block it. So if I click on here, and you can see I have blocked this primary fund unrestricted to no longer work with 3E01. So basically, if someone had set up these defaults where the fund was primary fund and the campaign was 3E01, if the user tried to post that transaction, it would fail to post because the combination is blocked. And so therefore, they would either have to change either the fund type or the campaign or both before they can process the transaction. So this tool comes in really, really handy. Now, the beauty of this tool is that you can unblock and block as many times as you want. So it's not set in stone. You know, it could be that if you've got something seasonal, you block it for that, you know, for winter, and then in the summer you want to use it again, you just unblock and it becomes available. So really nice little feature there. So now I'm just going to quickly show you some transactional processing within Business Central. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just look at general journals. Again, I could get from here. And I've got a number of batches, but I'll just use my default batch. And you can create as many batches as you want, and it's up to you whether you use the standard ones or whether you create your own. So there's no issues with that. And now, kind of think of this situation where you might have a weekly income journal, which has the same information every week. So same kind of income accounts, same kind of dimensions are going to be used. But what may change is the values. So what I've done is I've created myself a little template. So if I just go here, functions, and if I get save a standard journal. Oh, sorry, wrong place. And if we look at my income one, So this is a template that I've already created in advance for this demo. And what you will see is I've got a number of GL accounts, and the other side of the journal is going to be my bank. I've put down the values, but you can save these templates without values, and I've put down the dimensions. Now, the beauty of these templates is that you can add to them as and when you require, and you can actually remove lines if they're no longer applicable. So these templates have been saved, they've got a name, and when I'm ready to use them, all I need to do is select it and click OK. And you will see that it brings in all the information that you saw on the template into Business Central with today's date. And you can see all the dimensions are here, so that's great news. And all I have to do, if I so want, is to change the amounts, okay? Once you're happy with the way the journal looks, it's very simple to post, and you just click on post and the journal will get posted. Okay, so that little feature I think is very useful. The next thing I want to kind of show you is how to just enter a simple journal in Business Central, just to show you some of the functionality. So let's suppose I've got an accrual journal for some marketing expense. I can go to the account here and I can either type in, if I don't know what the account code is, I can type in marketing and it'll bring up a list of nominal accounts. I've got marketing in their description and I can select that. And I can put in the amount. So let's say it's 600. And if I had set up default dimensions against the nominal account, they would have fallen in, but because I haven't, I just need to add them. And it's up to you whether you need to populate all 4 dimensions or just the one. I'm now just going to do the other side of the journal. And because I know my accrual account, I can just type that number in. And again, you see, it brings it up. You've got a description field, so you can make that to be whatever you want it to be. So you can overtype the description. And then I can just put a credit in. And because this is a balance sheet account and I don't really want any dimensions on my balance sheet, I don't need to fill that in. Once I'm happy with that entry, again, very simple to just post. You also have the ability in Business Central to preview the posting. So if you want to, if you're a manager to look at it or something like that, you can you can come out the batch and your manager can go in and preview the postings, make sure the debits and credits are correct before they actually post it. Another function that is a lot of clients like is the ability to copy and paste. So you have, if you prefer to do your journals in Excel for whatever reason, you can put them in Excel, but you need to use this format. And then when you're ready, and you just need to go back into Business Central. No, see, didn't copy. Sorry, it's just, let me just copy that again. And then it copies that journal in. And you can see I've got 2 different journals. I've got journal number 51 and 52. And again, I've got my dimensions coming in from my Excel spreadsheet. So if you're happy with that, again, the posting process is very simple. Oh, I seem to have forgotten to put a date there. Bear with me. And you see how it gives you messages to indicate where you've gone wrong, which is quite sweet. And then we post that. Okay. The next thing I just kind of quickly want to show you is how it integrates with Outlook, just so you can see how all that comes together. So if I go into my Outlook, and I have an invoice that I've received from one of my suppliers, NfP Bronze Test, and when you install Business Central, you get an Outlook add-in, which you can then bring up. And let me just show you. So it comes up, and it comes up automatically because it recognizes this vendor as a vendor within Business Central. So it brings up some general information. So it's already telling me that this vendor, we owe them £4,420.80. If I drill down on that figure, it will tell me the invoices that are outstanding. And if I want, I can drill down to look at a particular invoice. And obviously this view is not great for me, so I prefer to just open it up in a new page so I can see the full details. And so there, I've got the full information. Okay, and you've got a few options here. If you wanted to do a credit note for this, you could do from here. If you wanted to look at the attachments, if you wanted to look at the dimensions, you can do all that from here as well. So you don't need to go into Business Central. All this information is available in Outlook for you to work with. Now, if I go back to my main page here, so like I said, I've received an invoice. I'm just going to quickly look at what this invoice relates to. And so it's invoice number 103086, 18th of November, and it's for some fundraising and merchandise. Okay. So I've got that information and I'm thinking, okay, I might as well just enter it from here. So I'm still in Business Central. There it is. It's just a bit slow today. And I've got the ability to enter a new purchase invoice. And what the system is doing, because I have some items in the system, it's thinking, oh, maybe the information that's on that invoice relates to this item because that's the nearest match it can get. And that's actually not the case. So if I just close that down, because I don't want to link it to that item and I want to kind of start fresh. And so it brings up the information in this view, which for me is not great. So again, I'm just going to open this view in a different page. And as you can see, it's automatically defaulted the details of that vendor. So all I need to do is enter. I can click on show more because my document date is slightly different. Mine's 18th of November, so it's a very old invoice. And I want to put the invoice number in. And what I want to do now is I'm going to link it to my GL account, so I can type in fund because it was to do with fundraising. And I can put in the amount. And again, because my vendor is linked to dimensions already, the dimensions have defaulted in, and if I want to accept them, I can leave them. And if I go to the next line, I want to, again, GL account, and this time it's for merchandise. So I can just type in merch. And if I want to change any of these dimensions because maybe this one relates to marketing, I can do that as well. Now, I've got the ability to post this invoice from Outlook, or I can leave it and it will just appear in Business Central. And it could be that you might have invoice approval, so you can have invoices that need to go through an approval process. So there's a workflow in Business Central that will deal with that, or it could be that you want to just let your manager look at it. For whatever reason, you decide not to post from here, which is fine. And then what happens is if I go quickly back into Business Central, my invoice should appear here ready to be posted. And there it is. So that's the invoice I entered in Outlook. It's here. If it needed to go through an approval process, it would do so, or I can just post it from here. Like I said, you can post it from Outlook if you wanted, but most clients like to let them come into Business Central, get them reviewed, get through the approval process before they post. That's kind of the end of my demo. I hope it's given you a flavour for what Business Central can do. And if you would like a demonstration of the partial battle of the EFT, just give us a call and we'll get that arranged for you. Dan, I'm going to hand over to you now, if that's okay.
Okay, thanks, Anita.
Bear with me.
Hopefully, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, thank you.
Yeah, bro. Okay, bro. So yeah, just to add on to that, and Sunita, that was really good in Business Central. Just to show you the speed of the reporting, whilst after Sunita had processed her income journal, I went into our Power BI reporting pack, quickly refreshed, and as you can see here, the 2021 January journal's actually done, has come straight through, process there. You can see that in your income statement monthly, but as I said, we have got the SOFA report. So if I look at the SOFA report by fund for 2021, you can see there that you've got this already with regards to transactions, the income journal. We can drill down looking at the chart of accounts that Sunita showed you. You've got that straight away from when Sunita posted that at 10:35. It's in the report now. You can see it there. You can see down to a drill down level, account number, transaction reference number, the description at line level, all that straight away. And you know, as we said on these Power BI reports, everything is there for you to do. So that's looking at your fund types and the fund codes as the header. But if I went to the old dimensions one, I can see what the income was by our campaign names that Sunita coded it to. You've got the fund ones there again, events, with the event codes that Sunita coded it to, and department as well. So you've got all that information really quickly, really to hand. And as Sunita showed, you can embed that into BC as well. So, you know, and that information here, what you're looking at now, can be viewed by people who aren't in the finance system. It's that quick. Really good collaboration, and really allows you to and again, you know, you don't need to be, you've got a Power BI specific app on your mobile devices. So again, you can be anywhere looking at this information. It's really good. What I'd like to as well, obviously we've shown you the bits that are within the NfP 365 finance system, but one of our major selling points is that we offer enhance the end-to-end solutions. So CRM, our NfP 365 Foundation Enterprise products, into our NfP 365 finance product. And just to give you, you know, obviously this is a demo in itself really, but just to give you a flavour of what that does, and even before your financial transactions, go all the way back to the beginning of your organisational processes. So your processing of income in the CRM system against the contact, your grants, awards, and things like that being recorded in your CRM system, payment schedules, your campaigns and events, all that information that will be inbuilt and standard functionality in our CRM NfP 365 Foundation Enterprise products. We have built an end-to-end system that integrates from there using Power Automate. It integrates the campaigns and events codes as dimensions, as Sunita just showed you there in Business Central. So you're not creating them in two systems. It integrates them all through. It integrates income. It aggregates income as well. So as part of our end-to-end solution, any income that you get dependent on payment type, dependent on different sorts of parameters in the system, comes into your financial systems as you would expect to see it on a bank statement. So you would have one sort of cash entry for your DDs in your bank account, but then the allocation and the aggregation of the income by different fund types to different GL codes, to different sorts of events potentially, all gets done automatically. So it comes in and flows through brilliantly, allowing, and you know, we do the same on, you know, it creates suppliers in Business Central for your grants or rewards, depending on your terminology, and allows you to pay them out of Business Central. Really good. So it's ensuring that you're not duplicate key all the way through, and you know, as I said at the very beginning of this, all about efficiency of data processing. And what again, that you know, we've got Power BI reports that can link the information, but what it really does, you know, it allows Business Central, as it says on the right hand side there, it allows Business Central to be used by finance only. It allows your Business Central to hold your financial transactions that it needs to sort of hold. but it allows you, with the integration, with the common references, to be able to hold all the detail down to a donor level detail is in your CRM system, is in NfP 365 Foundation. So, you're not having to duplicate the hundreds, thousands potentially of donors in both systems to get good data. You're keeping the information in the system it really should be held in. And Power BI then allows you to really report on that end to end, as you can see there. So it's making the whole transactional entry from donation to financial reporting output as streamlined as it possibly could be. Now, obviously, that is extremely powerful for organisations. We do have, and there's a slide showing what sort of other webinars that we have coming up if you want to look at the sort of the NfP CRM side of things as well. So please make a note of them when it comes to that slide. And to wrap up in the time, in summary, the summary points that I really want you, and me and Sunita really want you to take away from this session is, as we keep saying, NfP 365 tailored for specifically for NfPs, and it really is aimed at reducing the pain points or common pain points that NfPs hit from a financial transaction point of view. We include the products that we're using today, the partial VAT, the Power BI reporting, the EFT. And again, it's all aimed at reducing administration time and allowing you as an organisation to focus on what really matters for you to increase your revenues and your income. It fits all sizes of organisations and scalable, as I said. Now, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation, we have different tiered offerings for our NfP 365 Finance packages that we call Bronze, Silver, Gold, and Gold Plus. They don't include, the partial VAT element, because the Bronze package, as you can imagine, is a very basic, almost plug and play. There are webinars on that as well, and all the information that you need, I'll give on a slide shortly. It includes that Power BI reporting pack, and that's one of the key differentiators in the products that we offer at Enhance. We do provide you with the standard reports that you need on day one to avoid that time taken for you guys to really spend. And as you saw there, I got that report of that data within 2 minutes as I need to put in that information through, so it's really quick, really simple. As I mentioned before, we've got the packages. They are plug and play almost, and I do, for those customers who are almost, I don't want to say put off, but think that Business Central might be too big for them, given what we saw on earlier slides, please, have a look at our off-the-shelf packages, because we believe and we have tailored packages so that we can cater for any size of NfP with regards to what Business Central can offer you. And again, we on all these, we have a dedicated finance NfP website. It's not the mhans.com. Please visit our specific NfP365finance.com website, because it really does take you to the heart of what we're trying to do, what we offer, the packages and things like that, and gives more resources on there, just even generic resources with regards to how an average experience and user guides and stuff like that on how we've helped NfPs in the past with common problems that we're facing. As I keep mentioning, we do, Enhance are running a very extensive webinar program throughout 2021. I'm sure you've seen with some of the marketing collateral you will no doubt been given. These webinars are what we've got within Q1 coming up. So the packages, the tiered offerings that we've got, there's a webinar a week on them, starting next week, all the way through all different kinds of packages. For those people who are interested in the CRM element, our NfP 365 Foundation Enterprise webinar on the 4th of March is really, really good. It's a brilliant product. So if you want to look at that element of it and see how you can control your donors, your volunteers, and have full management really over sort of your contacts, award recipients, all that, please sign up for that. It's a brilliant webinar. And there's more deeper dives into some of the other products that we're doing with regards to, you know, the EFT one that Sunita talked about. There's a webinar on that. As you can see, I'm not reading the three, but we've got an extensive webinar program this year. If there's anything, and you know, there's more than that on our website as well. So please go and have a look at enhance.com/events. That will give you the full listing. And that's it. So I do apologise for running slightly over, 5 minutes over, but thank you very much for your time today. If you do want to email us specifically, our email addresses are there. If you want to speak to your account manager, whoever you're dealing with from a sales point of view, me and Sunita are not sales. So if you want a non-sales conversation, please feel free to email one of us, both of us, whatever. We have a number of different resources, as you can see there. The NfP 365 finance.com website is extremely good for what we've discussed today, but we do have, you know, our web presence is there. We do have a number of different places you can go. Before I sign off, there will be a quick sort of survey that comes out at the end of this. It's only 3 or 4 questions long. Please do give us any feedback that you do have. Really important, because it's our feedback from customers on previous webinars which has driven our webinar program for this year. And to a point, as product managers, me and Sunita listen to any constructive feedback that comes back as well with regards to questions asked around the product that we can potentially enhance our product set with. And with that, you know, that's us done. Please stay safe at this time, you know, with what's going on at present, and feel free to contact us via any of the channels that you see there at any time. And we hope we speak with you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.